Number one, with 3 minutes. Anybody want to speak? John still?
How's everybody doing tonight? I'm gonna ask that, I'm gonna read a couple of questions here, 4 or 5 questions, and then I'm gonna give a handout to everybody. And I'm gonna ask that my stuff gets put on the record, so moving forward, you can have it. So I don't have a ton of the emails here that I'm gonna share with you guys, so if you guys could just share some around, and I got plenty of these for everybody.
These are all different, is that what this is?
Yeah.
Just,
They're all different emails,
Okay.
there's 6 of them. And then I'm gonna ask that, I could ask my questions, and then when my 3 minutes is up, you guys can answer the questions, because otherwise, if I keep interrupting, my 3 minutes are gonna be gone. All right, this is, to the town board supervisors of Sayus, Church, Wales, and Attorney Mills. This is from, myself, John Stoss, and Carla Georgie. And this is, geared on targeted selective harassment of town board candidate. A recent FOIA request to Lower County officials has uncovered what appears to be a concerted effort to target a longtime town resident and current candidate for town board. In short, local town government against the candidate during an election. All right, here is the questions. Why are 2 town board members pushing Lower County officials to take action against the candidate, Stoss, for town board? Question. What do you know Supervisor Pete Kesselhan wrote 4 emotional emails to Lower County officials between June 21st and March 22nd, pushing further zoning enforcement after the county inspected and granted full zoning compliance. See the details in the attached emails, and if I could have the guys on the board that I shared them with, share them with other board members and get them on the record, that'd be great. Do you know both Supervisor Pete Kesselhan and Joe Klarkowski wrote to the Lower County officials 3 times, March of 2022, just 1 month from elections, and that was in a covert unilateral action in violation of open meeting rules. Additional questions. Did Supervisor Pete Kesselhan or Joe Klarkowski advise other town board members or Attorney Mills of their actions? What other properties in the township have identified and rigorously pursued for suspected zoning violations in the past 1 to 2 years? Or has this property and individuals been targeted? Question, is there a code of ethics for town board supervisors regarding equal treatment, personal bias, and if so, were these actions in violation? All right, in summary here, can I finish my last section?
Yeah, when you hand it out.
Okay, in summary, a series of 6 highly emotional biased emails were sent. Town board members, 5 from Pete Kesselhan, 1 from Klarkowski, to Lower County officials, Darren Schlenke, Michael Cotter, Rick Stacy, between June 3rd, 2021 and March 10th, 2022. Less than 30 days prior to the April 5th, 2022 town board election. The tone and intent of the emails was essentially an attempt to persuade the county to take actions against Mr. Stoss and candidate Stoss. Despite the county having already inspected and cleared the property with full compliance with zoning code and regulations. We look forward to the response from the town board and Attorney Mills. John Stoss, Carla Georgie. Thank you.
All right, this is, public comment, so really we don't have to respond to any of this unless Pete wanted to. I will concur with the 1 email unless Attorney Mills was coming. Do you want to say anything?
Well, my most recent email to the county was, well, precipitated by the fact that Barney Baum came to the planning commission meeting, and I just feel as a public servant I have to respond. And well, I'm not unaware of the situation, and you're projecting when you say I'm targeting you in regards to the election. That's your interpretation. I was just doing what I feel like I was supposed to do as a public servant in my position. It goes back a long time, John, you know very well that I came and visited you once I was initially elected, when I first was elected, and we visited your premises and had lengthy discussion, and at that time, I even, suggested that you should be careful of your, not just the junk ordinance, but your zoning, your zoning issues you may present, so I clean up your junk, I suggested that, or your valuables, however you wanna look at it, and, left it at that, and, and I've read into that C2 zoning, many times over, and I'm just reading it as I interpret it, and, guess that's the long and short of it, and I got, your neighbors are livid with it.
Okay, Jim, do you wanna say anything, 'cause I copied my email to you.
Yes, I saw your email. Yours was asking the county, are they taking any enforcement action?
Put it in writing, is it right or wrong? Just need to know,
Right.
that's the question.
The answer's in that email I gave you.
There's an answer in the email.
The emails I gave you, there's an answer in there to that question.
From
And-
Colin?
yeah,
From Michael Cotter.
We can hang on to these, correct?
Yeah, they're yours.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna make sure
I don't
everybody's
have time
got-
to listen and read.
everybody's got one of
time.
each.
Yep, everyone's got one of the main ones, and then you can share the emails, cause I didn't have enough paper to print them all out.
Okay.
Can I ask one, can I ask John?
Okay, you're gonna,
No, you can answer, I'm done.
right, are you ready to go?
Carla Georgie, North 80, I don't even know, you know my address, everybody knows my address. And I'd like this on the record also. This is gonna just be a summary, a timeline of the emails and a little paraphrased content between Supervisor Kesserhan, Chairperson Klarkowski, and Walworth County officials, Darren Schwenke, Michael Cotter, and there also is copies to Rick Stacy. First, on June 3rd, there's a, email, that's 2021 from Pete Kesselhorn to, Darren Schwenke, a copy to Michael Cotter and Rick Stacy. He states in there, gross C2 violation, appearance of a junkyard, extreme case of negligence, action must be taken. It is my job as an elected official to be unbiased and as possible, but not easy. Now, Pete also brought up about entering my property. And when you did that, I was very kind-hearted because you were new, but you trespassed. You drove up my driveway, you're 3 acres back. You took your dog out and walked all the way to my backyard with no permission. I could have, made a big fuss about that. That was wrong, and I hope you've learned from that, and you never do that again. But I let that pass, okay? Then, June 6th, Darren Schwenke to Pete Kesselhahn, copy to Michael Cotter and Rick Stacy. Now this is from Darren Schwenke, as again, over a year ago. Not quite a year. Through my investigation, speaking with Carla, John, and both neighbors, and viewing the site with Rick Stacy, it was determined there is not enough evidence to say there is a business conducted on this property. Vehicles have been cleaned up and brought into compliance with county C2 principal use regulations. So there's more into the email, but that's basically, what they said as of June, that there was not enough proof that we are supposedly running a business, out of the backyard. And just a note on the side, June 21st, Pete Kesselhorn and Joe Klarkowski did meet with the county with Michael Cotter and discussed, I think there were probably about 2 meetings with face-to-face. I'm sure it was discussed that there isn't any cause for any kind of citations given at that time. And this is a quote from one of the last emails to Pete, which I don't know if things aren't getting disseminated and it's just being kept to him, but can't be any clearer. This is from Michael Cotter. As I stated to Klarkowski, I am not going to go into court with a weak case and lose to Mr. Stas. So this goes on and on, there's more down here, but I just wanna say that it's, there's a reference to putting down the hammer on us and all this. And all I find is that it's always, one-sided. We have never been approached and spoken to, and the hammer should go down on, supervisors that go on beyond, because this Hatfield McCoy, and he makes reference to that guns are gonna be pulled and stuff, that is so unprofessional. I don't even think that's funny, to bring something like this and make some kind of comment about it's Hatfield McCoy. Well, I hate to tell you, I've never been upset. And they can say that we've been attacking them, but every time we've attacked them is they've attacked us. Drones, cameras.
Thank you. Okay. Other public comments?
Tim Barons, N8568 Stringy Bridge Road. We own the property to the south of Carla. We bought this property in 1991. It was a plowed field. We spent 30 years of our lives, hundreds of thousands of dollars, making this property what it is. It was our home. Now the sanctity of our home has been violated over and over and over. Carla moved in in 2003, and John was right behind her, and started creating the 3.5, about a 3-acre junkyard, slant salvage yard, slant contractor storage yard. John continues to violate the law repeatedly. He has a collector plate on a flatbed truck instead of paying for a carrier license like it should be. Every one of those is a violation. This is the kind of stuff they brought onto the property. They were trespassing on our property for over 10 years, and on Acker's property for over 10 years. So when we finally decided to put our foot down and have them remove their stuff, then we get trespassing on our property again, property damage left behind, and it's not over. They're going to court, we're going to court, because Darren Schwenke and the county is not doing their job. Heavy equipment, constantly. You guys have seen a lot of these pictures, by all means pass them around. This is what it looks like. Sorry,
That's all right, we can just,
I'm sliding.
yeah, no, that's all right, just set it straight now, we'll be good.
Heavy equipment of Caterpillar front end loader, 10,000 pound forklift. John Stouts' favorite method of communication. So no, it's not funny. In one of these meetings, John tried to make a joke of it and say it's all yard art. He's got a welder and it's all yard art. This is not funny to us. It shouldn't be funny to anybody. And there have been numerous violations, including, as Barney pointed out, an addition onto the house that had their house, that had no permits taken on it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, public comments, anyone else? Very good. All right, unfinished